So I just wanted to make a little video. I was talking with somebody about the difference between an SSD and an HDD. This guy's actually in the process of booting my computer, and you can hear it making horrible sounds. I've taken the screws out because I wanted to show what makes a hard disk drive a hard disk drive. It is, in fact, a moving mechanical thing. These platters here are spinning in this current drive. 72,000 RPM. It's 500 gigabyte drive, 7200 or 7200 RPM, not 1000. Geez. But yeah, this is it. This is the actual drive that's in it. And I've just got a live image of Ubuntu Mate on here. Nothing fancy, but you can see the heads, which are these little dudes on the arm, like a turntable, record player, are looking for data stored on the platter. I think there's two platters in this disk. You can see them there. It's just a laptop hard drive. It's a 2.5-inch disc. It's pretty small. This is the voice coil back here. These are some very strong magnets. And there's like a trapezoidal coil wire in here that is actually positioning those arms precisely on the disc. And this is a very delicate mechanical dance. The distance between that read head and the disc under it is absolutely minuscule, and it must be, because if it's too large, it won't read the disc. If it's too close and it makes contact with the disc on this disc, which, this being a Hitachi drive, are probably actually glass platters, are coated with an iron oxide, which is magnetic. So this is mechanical magnetic storage, like a flat cassette tape. This has tracks. It's a very, very precise thing, to just a modern marvel, to be sure. This is a little air filter over here. You see the size of my finger in this thing. So this is an air filter to take out any dust that might be in here. And this little hole on the cover that says "Do Not Cover" goes through a filter inside and a desiccant will allow the air pressure to balance inside and outside the drive. Now, this drive has always made this noise. I believe it has a head crash on one of the platters. In fact, it's still just trying to boot up. I don't think it's going to. It's too busy making terrible, terrible sounds. I'll take this off again. I don't believe that... Ooh. Touched it. Well, it's trying. I'll be curious if this boots. But in contrast, this is a solid state disk drive. This has no moving parts in it. Pretty simple, 120 gig. Otherwise, same specs, SATA 3, 5 volts, blah, 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 blah. This also has an Ubuntu Live image on it. But as you see, I wrangled this guy apart. I'll tear it open. Here, let's watch that for a second while I get angry with this SSD. That's it. It's a big plastic shell, pretty much empty, and all it does is make it the same size as a hard drive. And all that plastic shell is supporting this little dude right here. 2 NAND flash chips on that side. This is a controller. And you see the space for more, because of course this drive came in various sizes. Even this older drive, you can see how small it is, even compared to the 2.5-inch, hard drive. Oops. It's all upside down. That's a micro. SanDisk is a memory company. So, yep, SanDisk chips. That's it. There's, voltage regulation, signal conditioning, real basic stuff here. Whereas the hard drive, which is still over here making horrible sounds and not booting. It's not gonna like that. I think it's hard to hold still. Oh, look at that. I'm sure I've heard that sound before. The click is actually going back to park. Usually this happens when it loses track of where this arm is, and because I held my finger on it, it lost track of where this arm is. So I'm actually gonna just stop this process, unplug it. See it spinning? There we go. It is stopped. And see, this is being a newer hard drive. These are little ramps that lift the heads up off the platters so that they're not left down here. And without the platter spinning, it touches. That's not a good thing. That right there, that's just what I did with the head. That's a head crash. Look at my fingerprints, jeez. Really mucking it up. Well, here. We'll spin this boy back up and see what happens. It still looks like it's trying to boot. But let's simulate a head crash by pressing down on this here. Look at the mess. The head fused to it. Oh, it's gonna be so angry now. Oh, it detected something was not right there. See if I can crush this head a little bit. I damaged the head. That little thing on the tip there. You see the scratches in the circular pattern? That is major damage. In older drives, you can really see it more, but see that? $7,200. Oh yeah, you're not gonna like that, are you? Anyways, this is what happens to mechanical hard drives, especially if they're dropped. See? Some drives have a software in them that actually can detect that they're falling and park the heads. And if you look, see if I can catch this. When this thing starts free falling, the heads are parked. See? And then they come back. That's to stop them from crashing into the platter, which, you know, obviously I've already ruined this. But anyways, that's basic how a hard drive works. It does sound like metal. I don't know if these are glass platters or not. We're just gonna unplug this. Unplug my reader. But yeah, that is it. Let me get these screws out. I'll be right back. Back again for more extreme close-up. So I dropped a bunch of the screws, so they got stuck to my magnet. Look at how many screws there are. Just to hold. I mean, this isn't all of them. I haven't taken the screws out of the connector or anything. This thing is a really marvel of engineering. There's a platter. There's the lid. And there's a spacer. So you get this top washer, this spacer, then the other platter. Not very good at holding the camera, sorry. Ah! A little air filter fell out somewhere. See if we can use this little spudger tool to find the spot. Ah! Anyways, I can't get that one out. But here, fat hand all the way, is the magnets. I'm going to voice two very thin magnets in there. That's the catch. These are spacers. But you could pry these bad boys apart. A lot of effort. These are pretty strong magnets. Neodymium. So very strong. If you look at my thing over here, I got several stuck to it. There's new ones, old ones, more. They're everywhere. Anyways, more parts. Look at this little doodad. Look at a little doodad. Here's the voice coil. That's what moves everything. That's mounted on a bearing. This crazy aluminum part here. And then you got your heads. Focus on the heads, can you? Anyways, they're teeny tiny there and there. Flip this thing over now. Nah, that little platter is not. It doesn't want to give up. Oh yeah, there's also that thing. Ah! The other platter has been liberated. Ooh, did you put? Anyways. 2 platters. There's the ramp park assembly. There's this connector, which goes to these little tiny pins right here. Those and these ones are what interface with the board. So the head goes here. Motor. Where do you see it? Right there. There's the motor. So you've got some memory. This is your cache. And your controller. I don't know what these are. If that was like an EEPROM or, well, it's Texas Instruments something or other. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm lazy. Super complex circuit board. Remember, all of this has been replaced with this. That's like literally more than 10 times faster. It's so complex. Look how many screws there are just to hold the circuit board on. Like, you wonder, how did this get cheaper than that? Anyways, that's a hard drive and an SSD and how they work. Kind of. I glossed over a lot.